If you expect that somebody after your second phone call with them and you set them up on the perfect, let's say you think that you set them up on the perfect search, you think that they're going to call you and let you know when one of those houses that you're sending them is the perfect house, you're wrong. They're not calling you. They're definitely not calling you. If somebody said to you, why should I use you as a real estate agent? What would you say? Do you do something different or you do it better? How are you going to live that value that you bring? At the end of the day, we're helping somebody achieve a goal, right? You're helping them achieve finding that perfect home. Just go out and show your value. Do something. You're the hardworking realtor. That's your value proposition. And these people are going to be like, oh, wow, I'm willing to go out and do the extra things to find you guys your dream home. Their goal is to buy a house, right? I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they get into the house that they want. So you got door knocking, you got I'll go out and video tour, you could say all that stuff. I called, I checked stats, I send you a market report on the neighborhood, I send you all the comps in the neighborhood. That's 5 things that most real estate agents are not gonna do for them. Most real estate agents are gonna be like, when you guys are serious, I'll get out and show you homes. When you guys are pre-approved, I'll get out and show you homes. When you guys realize the market is going too fast for you to jump in, I'll get out and show you homes. Whereas I'm like, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this for you, regardless if you're going to buy with me or not. So their problem is they need to find a home. They don't even know the underlying problems. They don't know the underlying problem of that houses are going to sell quickly in this market. That's a problem for them, but they don't even know that it's a problem yet. Right? Because they're so new into the real estate experience. So you want to make sure that they even know the problems that are going to come up. Like, what's your value proposition? Oh, I'm going to go door knock for you and find you the right home. Right? Yeah. So make sure that you live your value proposition. If that's what you do, don't just say that that's what you do. Just make sure that you're living it and that they see it. And that every day you're like, oh, I'm just out door knocking. And you can even have, like, to go into what Janelle does. Hey, I'm just out door knocking for my clients, telling the story on YouTube about, hey, this is what happens. My client's super busy. They're looking for a townhouse. What I've done is I've door knocked this neighborhood and this neighborhood and this neighborhood. And guess what happened? 3 people in this neighborhood thinking about selling in the springtime got their numbers. This person thinking about selling after, and like, now you have a whole big thing. If you get so focused on the one particular transaction, you lose out on all the rest. How do you convince people to make decisions that's in their best interest? That's where you ask me what's the difference between good and great. The difference between good agents and great agents. Great agents convince people to make decisions that are in their best interest. So sometimes it's more important where they live, not what they live in. Good agents will tell them the next time that they're going to talk, right? Because people don't want to ever be wondering when you're going to call them or what's next in the process. So we should be setting them up, saying, okay, this is the next step. Sort of like how I broke down, okay, you're going to look now, you're going to put an offer at the end of December, you're going to have conditions in January, you're going to be moving in March. Like, I've set up the timeline. People want to know what's about to happen next. So what I'm going to say is, Brandon, I'll set you up on an e-alert just to make sure you get all the properties. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. You let me know if you want to change any of the criteria in the properties that I sent. You know, I'm going to send you, I know you're asking for bungalows, but there is buy levels in that neighborhood. Bungalows are a little more scarce. I want to send you the buy levels just so you can have an idea of like what they sell for, what they look like. You let me know. If you don't like them, I'll take them right off the list. And then follow up with that person and be like, what did you think of the buy levels? What did you think of the bedrooms in the basement? What did you think of the area? I know you wanted north side, and this is like southeast, but like, what did you think of that area? Then you have a conversation. It's like, okay, after that conversation, you're going to say, okay, great. Now that we know buy levels are out of the question, I'll take that off the list. Okay, so now go over that criteria again. We're going to find you close to this school. We're going to find you a 2-story and go blah, 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 blah. I'm going to send you out all the other ones. I'm going to follow up with you in a couple days. Let me know if there's anything that you like. Or click the heart icon to save it and I can see it on the system. Then follow up with them on the same thing. And at that point is when the majority of real estate agents quit. The majority of real estate agents are going to quit after second and third call, in between there somewhere. So the average is 2.1 contact attempts, and they never talk to the person again. The person does not reach out to them. So a lot of real estate agents are going to say, okay, I send them properties, I created their safe search, I followed up with them, I changed the safe search, now they're on an e-alert, now they're going to let me know when they want to get out and look at homes, right? That's what the majority of agents do. Dylan, this is a difference between good agents and great agents. The great agents are going to follow up with this person relentlessly until the person tells you the truth. Inevitably, people are always going to lie, whether it's their subconsciously or consciously. They're going to lie about what they want or what they can afford or what they're willing to accept. The more you talk to them, the more they're open and honest and tell you what they really want in a house or what they're really willing to accept in a house. So continually follow up until they give you, okay, well, actually, I told you I only wanted bungalows. Looks like we're not getting bungalows in my price range. So why don't you send me some 2-stories? That's when the magic starts to happen, is when people open up to you and realize that they can't get what they budget can afford them. So now they're giving you all the criteria. Now they're trusting you, and it's like, okay, now you trust me, let me get out and find you the right home, right? Like 21 contact attempts before a person makes a decision, right? Most agents stop at 2 or 3. If you expect that somebody, after your second phone call with them and you set them up on the perfect, let's say you think that you set them up on the perfect search, you think that they're gonna call you and let you know when one of those houses that you're sending them is the perfect house, you're wrong. They're not calling you. They're definitely not calling you. They're going to call the real estate agent that's closest to them at the time when they decide they want to see that house. And sometimes you're going to send them a property. Let's say it's 123 Apple Street. Your auto e-alert is going to send somebody a property on 123 Apple Street. They're going to be like, oh, I like that one on in Summerside on 123 Apple Street. They're going to go home from work, completely forget about it. Then what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh, that one on 123 Apple Street, I want to see it again. Google homes for sale in Summerside. What's going to pop up? Live Real Estate, or one of the big companies that is high on SEO, is going to pop up. They're going to click on that listing and they're going to go schedule a viewing. And it's going to go out to another real estate agent and they're going to say, oh, I thought this was Brandon. That literally it just popped up. And they don't care. Like, they don't care how much work that you've put in. And if you've only called them once or twice, they have no vested interest in you being successful. They don't even think that you really did anything other than put them on a search. So make sure that we're always following up and trying to get people to get out and look at homes. Like, when somebody says, I don't know, I don't really like any of the houses you sent, it's like, what about that one? I know you were looking for a buy level. What about that one on 123 Apple Street? And they say, yeah, that one is good, but it wasn't the right color. My wife didn't like the kitchen. Would you want to get out and look at it so we see if the layout is actually what you guys are looking for? Like, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about wasting my time. That's my patented thing that I say to everybody. Don't worry about wasting my time. Because once you make it about you, they're like, oh, no, I don't care about wasting your time. Don't worry about wasting my time. Let's get out there and look at some homes so that you know, I've looked at 1 million homes and I know that what they look like on pictures is not what they look like on person. So you might cut out buy levels altogether, right? So it's kind of like that when you're having the conversations. Dylan, you were talking about follow-up. So what have you changed in your follow-up strategy?
Well, it goes back to the value proposition, right? Of just like sending them as much information as possible, and then just literally calling them till they answer. But so when I think of like Lisa and Carrie, the people that I sent all that information to and they haven't answered, like I called them, I think on Monday. I'll probably wait a week because they're still a ways out. I was talking to Tom and he says that I should send them a video. Mm-hmm. And he keeps hammering that to me, so I'm going to start doing that slowly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kind of video?
Just be like, hey, Carrie, how are you? This is Dylan with Century 21. I'm sending you this video just to make sure that everything is okay, or something like that. I don't know.
Just checking in with you.
Yeah.
Or property specific stuff. Like, I've been looking through. There's nothing that has come up in Mount Royal in the last 2 weeks, and I'm looking through the comparable sales. Like, this is on the video. I'm looking through the comparable sales. Prices are selling between 800, 900,000, and blah, blah, blah. Just like throwing some random stuff in there. They could see your face. It's completely different. It goes phone calls, video calls, in-person meetings, right? If all you got is phone calls, those video calls are like, whether it's you sending a video or a FaceTime, though, that's where connections happen, right?
Yeah, and like Tom was saying, he said you should send a video and go with something like, I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of work and research on the area, and I'd love to be able to share it with the person. When is the best time that we can meet in the next 2 weeks? And then send them a video saying that.
So going for the close, right?
Yeah.
Going for an appointment. So I think that's super important as well. Like our goal when we've got these leads, like it's good to have leads that have told us price range and area and they want to buy in Summerside in the next 90 days, but our goal is to get out and look at homes, right? We want appointments, and then from those appointments, the gold is the second appointment. So how do we get that second appointment? And it's continually showing value to these clients, right? Or like you like when you meet them for the first time, I don't go meet anybody anymore without asking them if they want a Starbucks order. Like I never meet anybody unless I do that. Like that's just part of the process now, right? Because it always sets up, primes them for the next appointment, and that I'm showing value that way. It's a random acts of kindness. Like what else are you doing with the follow-up?
That's all I've got so far.
Okay. Is there anything special that you could do?
Well, the video would probably be the special part, but yeah, on top of like sending them properties, sending them a weekly email, sending them a monthly market report, and then calling them whenever there's something that comes up, or just checking in. Actually, funny enough, a client of mine is into Porsches. He has a little, what is it, a Carrera? It's running 911. It's like the other one.
Oh, the Cayman.
Yeah, Cayman. So I was on 4th Street, and I saw a new one parked out in front of Barry's, and I sent it to him. It's like a little rapport building. And then I got another client who loves Ferraris, so every time I see one out driving around or a cool post on Instagram, send it to him.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's good. Those are little random things work really well.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing on the information, right? Dylan, you want to buy a fridge, right? I'm refrigerator salesman. You come into the Brick or wherever you're buying a fridge, and you tell me what fridge you want. You tell me your criteria. You tell me what fridge you want. I follow up with you tomorrow with a list of fridges that we have in stock. None of them fit your criteria, right? So the next day or a couple days later, I send you a pamphlet to Samsung on all of the features on fridges. Are you gonna read that? And then I send you like, and then I send you like maybe a couple days later more information on fridges. The importance of having a fridge and keeping the right temperature. I send you that, right? Mm-hmm. And then a couple days after that, I'm gonna send you fridges that are coming out next year and the technology behind it.
Yeah.
How engaged are you in this informational, like providing this information, right? There's no personal touch behind it, and it's not like you're really doing anything. You're sending them links to fridges or sending them whatever. It's like, if I was your fridge salesman, imagine that I was your fridge salesman and literally I went somewhere else. As I went from the fridge store somewhere else, and I called you from the fridge from a different store, and I was like, I found this other fridge. This would fit your needs because it has, you guys told me you have a big family. They have all these drawers that pull out like this, right? It could fit all the beverages here. You guys needed a big freezer. This one's 36 inches wide. You guys needed a big freezer because you guys are not home a lot. You're super busy. So you could put all of your frozen foods in here. And it's like, that part of it kills the informational part of it. You could send them every single day information on Samsung fridges, like i.e. the real estate market. You could keep sending them information on the real estate market, but they don't give a shit about the real estate market until they know what does it mean for them and their family. What does it mean for solving their unique problem? Like what is it about this information that you've sent about the real estate market that makes a difference to them? And when you're filming your real estate market updates, that's the important part, is that reaching that ideal client. But if you already have the ideal client that you're talking to, talk about their unique problem and how you're going to solve it, right? Don't just talk about the general real estate market and how sales are up and sales are down, inventory is low, you're not going to find what you want. Talk about them specifically. I know you guys have a growing family. I know you guys need 5 bedrooms. So this is what I suggest. This is the homes that I've suggest. This is what you could do. This is how we could solve the problem. What if you had a co-signer? What if you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to solve their unique problem. Whether it's money or how the house is built or whatever, right? Try to keep that in the back of your mind. Nothing beats a personal touch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
sorry, go ahead.
like when I bought my car, why I bought my car is because the guy was so in tune with what I wanted. And I wanted a completely different car. And he was just like, what do you want? You want this and this and this? This car is a better fit for you. Here, let's go check it out. And then he starts taking me through why this car is a better fit. You don't need a 4-wheel drive. Take it out this. This is what you're doing. Are you taking out clients? Are you doing this? And like, he just knew me and my needs more than I knew. And it happened twice. It happened twice with the same guy at the same dealership. The first time I went in to buy a Cayenne, he told me I didn't want a Cayenne, that I wanted a Panamera. Best car decision I made of my life. Second time I went to buy my current car, I wanted a 4-wheel drive. He told me I didn't want it. And I didn't. At the end of the day, I thought I wanted it because I wanted a 4-wheel drive to drive in winter, but I just didn't know that I could drive my current car in winter and it was going to handle perfectly the same. He knew my needs more than I knew. So that's why he's my salesman for life. He's not at that dealership anymore. He got out of sales, but he knew he would be my person for life, regardless of what car I would have bought, right? I would have asked his advice. So it's like keeping that, like how he is, by far, he's the best car salesman I've ever seen, by far. But maybe it's just because I had a connection with him, because he knew me. So.
So I guess that kind of relates to when you were talking about that. That's made me think about those people that are looking for a home, a 5-bedroom home for $250,000. You know, he thinks he needs a single-family home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to get junk in a single-family home, right? I know that he's going to get a better home with a duplex for that price.
Mm-hmm.
So just have to show them, right? Just like you said.
What is it about a duplex that, you don't want? You're connected. Is it the sound? Is it it's not your own space? Is it resale value? There's a whole bunch of, we don't even know why he doesn't want a duplex. We need to know why he doesn't want a duplex.
If it was resale value, we all know the duplexes went crazy the last 10 years, and they were all in multiple offers. Everything was in multiple offers, gone in 24 hours. So resale should not be a question.
Exactly, and he's from Ontario. He doesn't know.
Brandon, when you're dealing with him, maybe that's something that you could find out, is why he doesn't want a duplex.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Go ahead, Dylan. We cut you off a couple times there.
I was gonna say, some people are just not receptive to that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we all know that it's better. Like, this guy from Spruce Grove or whatever, Darren. Like, what if he's dead set and you're just like, man, this is a better home, and and you show him all the information, he still won't do it, right?
True, but at the end of the day, most people will make a decision that's in their best interest. Most people will. If they don't believe that the decision is in their best interest, they're not going to make it. And remember, they don't trust us as real estate agents. The majority of the time, they don't trust us. So, Brandon, this is probably like a buzzkill of a meeting to come to. It's not all happy. It's like the people suck and they lie to you. And but yeah, like people don't trust us. Remember that. So how can we build that trust? And once they trust us, Dylan, if I was I hate going back to analogies, but if I was your investment advisor, right? And I told you today, you have to invest in Bitcoin, and you're like, no, I want to do the S&P 500. And it's and I'm like, you don't know the investing in Bitcoin is going to be better. Why are you not listening to me? Because you don't trust that I know what I'm talking about. And you think that you know better. So it's like sometimes we just need to show them why investing in Bitcoin is a better investment. We just need to show them returns, the information, the data, what's happening in the market, other people that you've showed that exact same thing to. So it's like, don't give up. Like that sounds like giving up when you say like some people you just can't convince. Don't give up on people. Some people, it takes longer than others, right? Like there's a lot of, like Carl, for example, he's not here today. I've been talking to Carl last year, him and I met in November, and he told me, I'm going to join your team in January. He got hooked into a contract with his broker. He couldn't get out. It took, him and I have been talking for a year about coming over. And you know, it's the thing that he said? He's like, I wish I would have came sooner. And he's just like, I just didn't know, I didn't understand and all that stuff. It's like him coming to the team was in his best interest. He just wasted a year of his real estate career. He just didn't know. So sometimes the people just don't know. And it's exactly what you said at the beginning. People don't believe what you tell them. They believe what they experience. So you've got to put them in those experiences so that they realize that you're advising them the right way. And how can you build trust? Like how can I get you to trust that you know what I'm saying? Right? You have a skeptical nature to you. A lot of people have skeptical natures to it. It's like, okay, I don't trust what you're saying. I'm going to do some research to make sure that this is correct, right? Well, let me show you the research. Let me show you what's happened to people just like you. Don't give up on people. Like some people are tough. Some people, it's easy to spend $500,000. To other people, it's the most excruciating thing. It's like walking over hot coals, right? People have different psychology of money. So that sometimes it's like people have super anxiety about making this decision, and sometimes people are super excited, right? And it's so close to me.
There's so many bad experiences associated around the big sales that we make in our life, or the big investments that we make in our life. So then like there are so many people, 9 people out of 10 have mostly gotten like scammed all their life, or feel that they have anyway, so they're mad. So of course they're going to feel that way towards realtors as well.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
And lots of people feel buyer's remorse, right? Right after especially because of salespeople, they buy something and they're like, I should have never bought this. I got convinced into buying this. But like if we think that we're bringing true value, if we think that we're like helping them make a decision that's in their best interest, we're gonna be better at it, right? If you think that like, hey, this guy doesn't agree with me, he's not gonna buy a house, no matter what I say, it's gonna be hard for us to convince him, because we already have the mindset that we can't, right? And that's a tough thing to go into any negotiation with. And you're negotiating.
Go ahead, Matt.
You're negotiating. That's all I want to say. You're negotiating.
Yeah, and I was going to say, don't let it be about you. Don't let it be about if I spend too much time with this person and he doesn't buy, then I've wasted all this time. I think anything that I do, I think that it's learning. I'm constantly learning, and I've lost people that I thought were going to buy, and I spent a lot of time with them, but I learned a lot. I even one of the things I learned was building rapport with them. So, you know, we've got I've got a client that I've been working with, and she's been a no-show 3 times for showings. And then I she phoned me the other day, and she said to me, I'm just wondering, do you know if there's a place that I can rent? And that's okay. I told her I'd keep my ears open, but you know what? I know she's going to buy. Not today, maybe not this year. And I know that when she's ready to buy, I know where she's going to go. And that's okay.
Or if she has somebody to recommend.
And I feel good about helping her.
Mm-hmm. And I know it's tough to when you're like, oh, like going paycheck to paycheck, and you're like, when is my next paycheck coming? And it's like the more and more desperate people get in real estate, the worse and worse decisions that they make. That's why most people that start their trajectory downward in real estate end up out of the business, because the more and more desperate they get for each paycheck, they start doing the wrong things, and they make mistakes. And they're looking at the long-term relationship. They're looking at the transactions. If you chase money, money is going to run, right? If you focus on relationships, the money's going to come hand over fist. And it's like my goal. People are like, you go to the gym and you just talk. Like you literally just talking to everybody, stopping here. Like it's not like out of the realm of possibility that I walk into the gym and I stop at like 5 different people before I get to my first workout. It's not even like an exaggeration. Like that happens all the time. But each one of those people is a relationship that I've built. And then I'm walking around the gym with like move faster sweater, move faster hats. I don't even tell people I'm in real estate. They just generally ask, right? So those are relationships that I built. And like I said, when I went to the Wine Fest on Saturday, it was my goal to have conversations with people behind the desks to get free drinks. Like it was just a fun thing that I did. And it was literally like Nikki sitting there like, you just could talk to anybody. And I was like, no, I'm genuinely curious about how they got into the industry and why they're doing what they're doing. And so people want to talk. When you're genuinely curious about what somebody's doing, i.e. buying a house, if you're genuinely curious about why them and their family are buying a house, they're going to want to talk to you and they're going to like you. People are interested in people that are interesting. No, I said that wrong. People are interesting who are interested. So if I am interested in you, you're going to think I'm interesting. You're going to be, there's that guy, he went to a conference and he went with his wife and all he did is ask people about them and he said, tell me more about that. Dylan, what'd you do on the weekend? You went out? Oh, how was that? Where did you go? Oh, great. Is there a lot of people there? Oh, that's amazing. It's like, do you go there often? Where is it? Is it close to your house? And I'm like, I'm asking you all these questions. I'm not talking about myself. And Renee talked about the beginning about rapport building when she says like, oh, you lived in BC, I lived in BC. This is one of my major flaws that I have in because I built it so early in my relationship, is that I always try to say something. Oh, your dad got sick, my dad got sick. Oh, you lived in BC, I lived in BC. And I keep bringing it back to myself, whereas I should be trying to ask them more about themselves and not talking about myself, right? And I'm like, instead of like, oh, tell me about your dad. How did your dad get sick? Oh, what kind of cancer did he have? And it's like, instead of being like, oh, my dad had cancer too. And then you're like, it's like you don't talk, you don't get that rapport building. So that's one of my flaws. Because so early in my career, it'd be like, a guy has NASCAR on his wall. It's like, I love NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt, yeah. You know what I mean? So I got so used to doing that.
Easy to do because you're trying to be relatable, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's one of my, like, going and being relatable is one of my downfalls, because sometimes you just do it too much and you put your foot in your mouth. So, yeah. You guys got anything else?